In due course, I'll set off from Barons Court Station here and walk to West Kensington. But first, some maps. Yay! There was an agricultural revolution going on in the late 18th century to match the ongoing industrial revolution. Enclosure was all the rage in the countryside as common land and strip farming were turned over to larger, privately owned fields. A pioneering cartographer called Thomas Milne surveyed the land use around London in the 1790s and produced a 2 inches to the mile map. At the turn of the 19th century, 30% of the London area was still common land, to which locals had joint rights to use and exploit. On his map, Milne marked this common land in the colour orange. As the 19th century wore on, a lot of common land, which wasn't reassigned to owners, became large public parks, such as Ealing Common, Clapham Common, Wimbledon Common and more. Thomas Milne used the letter G to show market gardens. And at the turn of the 19th century, the area we now call Barons Court was itself being turned over to market gardens. All this previously had largely been common land, but after reassignment to private ownership, market gardening became the norm. It's quite hard to get our bearings from Milne's splodges of pastel colours, so we'll wind forward about 60 years and show exactly the same area as mapped by the Ordnance Survey. The road names here are unfamiliar. North End Lane, Old Greyhound Road and Great Church Lane. There's the Fulham Union Workhouse, so Fulham is nearby, but North End, well, where's that? As the old lanes were tarred and improved as the century wore on, villas with substantial grounds had begun to appear next to them. Claybrook House, Norman Villa, North End Grove. Like many new landowners of the time, it was not escaping the notice of Sir William Palliser that the arrival of a railway made his agricultural land much more valuable as building land. The District Railway, having reached Earl's Court, was planning to extend its line to Hammersmith. Palliser decided that his land would be better value as housing, and he called his potential new suburb Barons Court. I've adapted the Ordnance Survey map to show where Barons Court Station and West Kensington Station would eventually be built. The purple outline shows the boundaries of the Hammersmith Cemetery. This would be established in 1868. Margravine Cemetery, as Hammersmith Cemetery is now known, is just beside Barons Court Station, and it's well worth a detour. The green outline marks the location of Queen's Field, a simple field of vegetables north of Old Greyhound Road. In 1884, nearby St Andrew's Church would be granted permission to play some cricket matches on Queen's Field. St Andrew's Cricket and Football Club was fortunate to have the support of the vicar, the Reverend John Cardwell. The Queen's Club, a tennis club, was established in 1886 and took over Queen's Field, evicting the St Andrew's Club. The Reverend John Cardwell then found new facilities for St Andrews, further into Fulham, and the outfit slowly morphed into Fulham Football Club. The Queen's Tennis Club also went from strength to strength, and it's now the location for a tournament played before the annual Wimbledon Tennis Championships. Had house building not extended through the area, the orchards of Barons Court would have been in a good position to supply the strawberries needed for the tennis. But I digress. During the 1870s and 1880s, connecting roads were improved. North End Lane was upgraded and renamed Hargarth Road. An Old Greyhound Road became simply Greyhound Road. The District Railway opened a station on North End Road, but decided that the local village name North End wasn't the name they wanted. The word Kensington had a cachet as a name, and the station became called West Kensington despite not either being in Kensington, or indeed if it was, west of it. By the time of the 1890s Ordnance Survey, the majority of local residential development had occurred, and on the 9th of January 1905, the District Railway finally opened a station at Barons Court to serve the new developments. Before we get on the walk, let's consider being a resident of the Barons Court area in the mid-1860s, and then living there for the next 30 years. In the 1860s, your area is so remote that it hasn't even got a name. Not so many houses are here, and those that are here are quite large. The existence of the Fulham Union Workhouse is a depressing reminder of the fickleness of fate. Then the District Railway arrives, carving a route across the landscape. Smaller houses and new roads begin to fill the area. And as a longer-term resident, you could perhaps recreate some of the former peace you had by wandering through the new cemetery or watching some folk play tennis at the Queen's Club. So, in this upcoming walk, I'll start at the Queen's Club, near to Barons Court Station, and walk the short distance to West Kensington Station. I walk so close to the railway tracks that the main road I walk along, Barons Court Road, follows their distinctive curve. So this is the prestigious Queen's Club at the end of Palliser Road. It's where the pre-Wimbledon tennis all goes on. And today I'm walking from Barons Court to West Kensington. I always say today I'm walking, but obviously you might watch these multiple times or not at all. And today is a very weird concept. This walk is from Barons Court to West Kensington. And West Kensington is a delightful station on the District Line. It's like a little country station, even though it's between Earls Court and Barons Court. Anyhow, I'll now turn the camera around to show you the other way. So just up the road there is Barons Court Station, but we're going to head off down this road, Barton Road, West 14. This apart from this Chelsea tractor coming towards me, it's a very quiet neighbourhood, not much traffic really, which makes a change because I find Londoners are a bit addicted to their cars and yet forever dodging them. And a lot of people drive in London when they could just cycle the distance they're driving. Anyway, don't want to get into that controversy. I could never grow lavender successfully, it always died on me. Some lovely pastel coloured houses here. So the last one's pastel grey, which isn't quite so colourful. Road ahead is Barons Court Road. And piece of trivia, Barons Court Road has an apostrophe, but Barons Court the station doesn't have an apostrophe. Whereas Earls Court Road doesn't have an apostrophe, the Earls, but Earls Court Station does have an apostrophe. Now that's a bit nice quality London trivia. Where do you get trivia like that? So these houses you can see in Barons Court Road ahead, back onto the railway. And that's why there's quite a delightful curve in them, because the railway curves round as well, and they just built to follow the railway. I was hoping the London Borough of Hammersmith and Fulham van would disappear. It's not to be. I have a peek along Comera Mews, which I haven't heard of before. I think we've got a couple of blue plaques along the way here. So what's down here? That was quite unusual. Verreka Road. So we've entered Clarence Court Road here. I spy the first of the blue plaques along this road. So we got Geoffrey de Havilland there with a rather fetching green vehicle in front of the house. A person who was very important in aircraft design in the UK. That's number 33, and I think number 20 is notable as well. Yes, blue plaque number 2. So I hope I don't disturb the people with the umbrellas. But this is number 20, and Mahatma Gandhi lived here as a law student. I thought I'd try to capture an unusual shot through the barbed wire. Unfortunately, the day is turning wet, and maybe my walking hours are numbered. This might be it. So not only the West Kensington station, but the famous Three Kings pub. And that's not famous because it's just called the Three Kings pub, it's the famous Three Kings pub. I'm not sure I know any been to West Kensington station. Obviously passed through it a number of times, but this is my first time in.
Never try to retrieve it yourself. Speak to them from staff who can help you get it back safely.
It's a little less like a county station, all these people. I've always been intrigued by it.